Rock and Roll Geek Show 1307.
Still rocking after all these years.
This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
This is it, the show that started it all. Often imitated, but never equal. From San Francisco, USA, online since 2004, is the one and only Rock and Roll Geek Show. With the original Rock and Roll Geek, Michael Butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name's Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Monday, July 15th, 2024, and it is 12:21 p.m. And if I'm doing a daytime show, that means I'm probably up here in the Mountain House. My home now. I was in San Francisco all last week, which is why I didn't do a show during the week. I left the Mountain House I think Saturday or Sunday. I think Sunday. And I started a job. I had to stay at an Airbnb, if you can believe that. Yes, could not stay at the San Francisco house. I went to San Francisco on, let me open up a beer first. It's past noon. Why not? I'm drinking a fine Tecate in the retro can. First sip of the day, always the best, even in the daytime. I left the Mountain House on Sunday of last week and went down to San Francisco. I had a Airbnb reserved from Sunday through Thursday near a job that I was doing. I have to make as much money as I can because I'm going on the doing the UK Manitoba tour we're heading down to LA on July 29th, me and Craig, and we're going to meet at Scotty Slam, the drummer's house, and Alex Kane is down there producing, I believe he's producing a Wednesday 13 record, and he's going to be down there. So we're going to rehearse without Manitoba, and then we are flying from LA on the 30th the next day. So we're going to rehearse on the 29th. We're going to fly to LA on the 30th, and our first show, I think, is on the 2nd. That's Rebellion. Friend of the show, Mark Bridges, is going to be driving the van and doing merch. Looking forward to meeting Mark Bridges. There's hopefully going to be a lot of friends coming to the show in London as well. I don't have anybody on the guest list for Rebellion. I put it out there on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group, and I said, if anybody wants to get in to the Rebellion Festival, let me know. And I got no response. So that either says nobody listens to the show or nobody can go to Blackpool, England. I'm hoping that it's just nobody can go to Blackpool, England. I'm going to miss the Baboon show because they're playing the next night, and I think we're heading up the next day to, I think we're heading to London the next day. We're playing the Underworld in London. Phil Armitage Smith is going to be there, I believe. A few other people as well. I don't remember who we put on. Trudy Knight, famous photographer. Trudy Knight, the photographer for Ginger and the Wild Hearts. She's going to be there with her husband. I'm hoping Bridget West comes. I'm not sure if she lives in London or in England or Italy now. I'm going to reach out to her. Looking forward. We're only playing 3 shows. We were going to do the Sweden tour as well, but that got pushed back till spring of next year. So if you had bought tickets to the Sweden tour, apologies, friends. We'll see you next year. I'm kind of glad in a way because I'm going to, as I said before, I'm going to Africa on the 19th, and that tour was going to end on the 18th. And my wife was extremely pissed off about me going to be gone that long. So this takes a little bit of pressure off of everybody. Now I can recuperate, and then before heading over to Africa for almost a month. Yeah. So anyway, that's why I need the money. So I was down in San Francisco working, doing an exterior. This is my last job before I head out on the Manitoba shows. Got that job done, got paid in cash, which I needed the money so desperately. So I'm going to be gone for a while, and I don't have any, and I got a lot of expenses too. Please keep those donations coming, friends. All right, enough of that. So I finished that job on Thursday, headed back up here to the mountains on Friday. It's been 108 to 110 degrees every day that I've been here, except for yesterday. It only got up to like 90 something. Fortunately though, I got a river right across the street from me, so I can just, a 5-minute walk and I can go to the river, and just the water in the river is like 55 degrees, so that's a little bit of a cool off from the 110 degree heat. So I've been hanging out, been getting along good with the wife, which thank God for that. So the personal life is okay right now. Let's play some music, and I'll come back and talk some about whatever else. It's going to be mostly music today. Next week, or later on this week, I'm going to do a track by track for the sheriff, Richard Fusey. We'll talk about that later. This is a brand new. Well, this record's been out since February. Lars Lunova, friend of the show, sent me his band. I'm going to try to play mostly music from friends of the show on today's episode. This was sent to me by Lars Lunova. He's a drummer, and he plays in a band called Sin City. He sent me their CD back in February, and I never got around to putting it on my computer. I apologize, Lars, but I put it on yesterday, and it is fucking great, man. If you like AC/DC, I mean, this is right. There's a bunch of bands that sound like AC/DC, which is not a bad thing to sound like, but Lars is the drummer, and he's got Phil Rudd down pat. This band is great riffs, good 4-on-the-floor drumming, and just good songs all around. This is Sin City. We'll play riff. We'll do Rock and Roll Hijack from Sin City. Up. Hold on. I got to turn this back, turn this up a little bit. All right. Start that over. Here is Rock and Roll Hijack from Sin City.
Black widow and all. High-jet screamer, robbery and dealer. She is evil, yet so cute. A tough woman, ooh. She's the high-jet queen band from the music scene. Oh yeah. Tell me, is that what you love to do? Rock and roll is hijacked. What you bound to do? Rock and roll is rap. Hey, what you thinking about? A song eater, there's no easy way out. She takes it all, she wants it all. A black widow, high-check screamer, robbery and dealer. She is evil, yet so cute. Tough woman, ooh. She's the high-check queen band from the music scene. Tell me, is that what you love to do? Rock and roll is hijacked. Is that what you're bound to do? Rock and roll is cracked. Is that what you love to do? Rock and roll is hijacked. Is that what you're bound to do? Rock and roll.
There you go. Sin City. The record is called Black Decade. Every song on that record is good. I mean, it's AC/DC to the core, but songs are great. A little bit of this song, Riff Revolution, that I was going to play. This is fucking bad. The great guitar tones, great 4-on-the-floor drums. Good job, Lars Lunova. Listen to that. I love it. All right, there you go. The record is called Black Decade. Thank you for sending me that in the mail. He sent me the CD. I think, where's Lars from? Is he from somewhere over there across the pond? I hope to meet him in person someday. He might have been going to go to one of the Sweden shows, but not anymore. Well, hopefully I'll see you next year, Lars. Speaking of being overseas, a friend of the show, Paul Houston, lives in South Africa. When I go to Africa, I'm going to meet up with Paul Houston. That'll be, who would have ever thought that I'd be meeting a listener or a friend of the show. I don't call it listener, a friend of the show in Africa. Who'd have thought I'm going to Africa? Let's hope I'll make it back safely. I don't know what the political climate is in Africa, but I hope it's friendly towards the white man, if you get my drift. All right. Oh. All right. Do I want to play an audio comment now? Yeah, I think I do. This is a show review sent to me by my bodyguard.
Hey, Michael Butler. This is Joe Pawlak.
Hey, Joe Pawlak.
Germantown, Wisconsin.
Ah, yeah.
How the hell are you doing?
Super great. Could not be better. I'm up in the mountain house. Oh, I got to talk about some things, other things too. I got into something now called saddle hunting. Google that, friends. I'll talk about that later on.
Fantastic. Always good to hear. Always good to hear what's going on.
Oh, wait a minute. I didn't tell him how it was. Let me start that over.
Hey, Michael Butler.
Hey, Joe.
This is Joe Pawlak, Germantown, Wisconsin. How the hell are you doing?
Super great. Could not be better. Thank you for asking, Joe Pawlak. I really appreciate it, friend. I hope you're great, too.
Fantastic.
Good.
Always good to hear.
Yes.
Always good to hear what's going on out there in the rock and roll.
All right, let's try that again. All right. All right. Start over. Do it again.
Hey, Michael Butler. This is Joe Pawlak.
Hey, Joe.
Germantown, Wisconsin. How the hell are you doing?
I'm not doing too good. My feet hurt.
Fantastic.
Yeah, okay.
Always good to hear.
Yeah.
Always good to hear what's going on out there in the rock and roll geek show land and your
hello out there in rock and roll geek land.
Fun times that you're having out and about.
Living it up. Living the dream.
Good one with Handsome Dick Manitoba coming up.
Yes. By the way, I'm sorry to interrupt Joe Pawlak, my bodyguard. My brother-in-law is having a party in Santa Rosa. I'm heading there on Friday. My wife is going on Thursday down back to San Francisco, and I got to hang out with the dogs. And then dog sitters are coming to house sit / dog shit in the mountain house. And I'm going to Santa Rosa. Hopefully I'll meet up with Casey while I'm there, because Casey lives in Santa Rosa. All right, back to you, Joe Pawlak. While I'm burping up this fine Tecate.
To do a show review of Tuck Smith and the Restless Hearts.
Tuck Smith finally doing shows.
From... was it
I hope you met him and told him that you're friends of the Rock and Roll Geek Show.
11th.
He probably said, "Who the hell's that?"
Of July, 2024 at the X-Ray Arcade in Cudahy, Wisconsin.
3 days ago.
So 4 days. A little suburb just south, industrial suburb just south of Milwaukee. But before I do, I will have a sip of this fine coffee as it's 9:44 in the morning as I record this.
I'll drink a sip of this fine Tecate.
Eighth coffee of the day.
Oh, yeah.
That's what you need to get going.
What they say.
Anyhow, really looking forward to see Tuck. You know, obviously he's talked to you a couple of times. I totally dig, the album. I think The Ballad of a Misspent Youth was my top album when that came out. I can't remember if that was last year or the year before, but finally on tour, little 3-date run. So it started off, like I said, Thursday night here in Milwaukee, Madison, Wisconsin last night, and then Reggie's in Chicago tonight. So I met up with fellow Geek, Mr. Jeffrey Zelapougas, ahead of time. We had a little bit of dinner at a little Greek diner down the street, a couple of Modelos, and caught up on
Did you have some dolmas?
what was going on with him, which was fantastic. Again, anybody in the show, I think
Is dolma Greek? I don't think it is.
this is the third show that I've gone to with him. So he and I went to see The Darkness previously. We saw Volbeat and Ghost a while back, although we didn't sit together. And so now here we are with Tuck Smith and the Restless Hearts. So good time. Congratulations, by the way, Jeff, on your engagement.
Oh, congratulations.
Sorry. Been married 25 years.
Oh,
I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to the show.
I get it. I've been married 34, I think, maybe 35.
I'm not going to post the playlist or the set list, I should say. It's on the Rock and Roll Geek Show Facebook page, which you, of course, did not create, but you do approve people.
I don't want anybody up there putting some Project 2025 propaganda on there. So got to answer a few questions.
That we know that they're fit for the office of Rock and Roll Geek.
Yes.
Anyway, Tuck was fat. Well, let me step back for a second. So I've never been to this venue before. So essentially, it's a bar. It calls it X-Ray Arcade. It's a bar with video games at the front. So got in a little game of Galaga there before the show. And then kind of a stage, I don't know, maybe 200 people capacity. If not, that place would have been packed. There's about half of that. I don't know.
100 people? That's not bad for that's not bad.
Well, not 100, probably 50, 60 people. So relatively,
that's all right.
About
what we drew with Manitoba.
Medium-sized but enthusiastic group of folks. But opening up was a band, again, that I didn't know who it was. So we're out there talking to them, and it was the Daniel James Gang. Well, oddly enough, Stephen Laperriere had just posted something where he had bought Indonesian junk.
Indonesian junk. A friend of the show played an Indonesian junk. Adam... forget Adam's last name. He sent me a computer a long time ago. He's a teacher. He was the guitar player. I think he's not in the band anymore.
Spider Bites. I can't remember. It was Spider Bites the album.
Do I have Indonesian junk?
Shit, I don't know, man.
I do. Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that was his old band. And so
I have that. Let me see if I can find it. It's a little bit of Mean Christine. Indonesian junk.
Christine, you're so mean. Oh, Christine, you're so mean. You're always telling me that you love me. Always tell me that I'm the one. When you get a couple drinks.
All right, there you go. A little bit of Indonesian junk. Back to you, Joe Pawlak.
two of the guys in this this band here was from that band, so it was pretty cool. So they played a bunch of songs off of that album, Mean Christine, Wild Wild Party, I think.
A little bit of Wild Wild Party. Here we go.
Then you gotta get out of your place. You've just been playing on your phone and blowing.
All right, there you go. All right, back to you, Joe.
City Lights. I can't remember all of them. But anyway, I posted a little bit of a video on that for you, so you guys can check that out. Oh, but he was great. And then Tuck came on and, looked the rock and roll part. Good-looking dude, good-looking band. I mean, had that half 70s glam band fashion. Not over the top, but only one guy had a hat on, so that was the lead guitarist.
Nice.
but super tight. Song sounded good. You know, we were right there. He was talking to the audience and engaging, which was great. There were people there from all over the place, like Massachusetts, and a couple other people came up from Chicago, and just a really good show, energetic. Obviously, he played, you know, most of the album, Ballad of a Misspent Youth, so you can, once again, look at that set list that I had posted. But I thought it was a fantastic show, and I was so happy to be able to see him because I've been wanting to go see this guy forever. So totally lived up to the expectation. Harmony sounded good. The band was tight. The songs were crisp. The sound was really good. I could not complain. And then after the show, he came out and talked to everybody. You know, I bought about, I don't know, a couple albums. I bought a single, Everybody Loves You When You're Dead. Obviously the album, the Spider Bites. Anyway, it was super great. He said hi. I said, yeah, you know, I had obviously the Rock and Roll Geek Show t-shirt on, which anyone can buy from the Bathroom Wall t-shirts website. So I encourage you to do so.
Use the code I Love Michael Butler, free shipping anywhere in the world.
To rep the show. And it was a really good time. He was a cool dude, came out, you know, talked about you, how the one time he called in and you were cooking dinner or something. I don't know. But
elk. I was making elk.
Was going to get him to say something like, you know, super great, couldn't be better, or stay frosty or whatever, but I didn't want to be too cheesy. There were a bunch of people standing in line. But all in all, I thought it was a great night. Thursday night show, lived up to all the expectations. Cannot complain. If he goes out again, obviously, he checks all the boxes for me. Love his tunes. Everything was good. So anyway, that's my show review. Hope all is well with you. Like I said, good luck on your HDM gigs coming up, and we will talk to you later. Stay frosty.
Stay frosty. You too can leave me a show review. Just record it in your phone. Email it to me at rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. All right, let's play. Why don't we thank some people who donated to the show? We haven't done that in a while. By the way, thank you for all the nice comments about the Rick Browdy interview that I did last week. That was quite something. He didn't mind talking about people behind their backs. I have a feeling he would say it to their face too. And thank you to the people who donated to his charity, Wings of what the fuck's it called? His dog charity. Oh shit, Wings of. What is it? Hold on, I'll find it. Give me a second here. I don't want to fuck it up here. Wings of Rescue. There you go. Where was I? Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you to people who donated to Wings of Rescue, his dog charity. I really appreciate it. I hope you did it under the name of the Rock and Roll Geek Show, so he knows that he didn't waste his time. All right, so let's thank some people who donated to the show. In the background, this was sent to me by Kirk Crawford. This is a band called The Thunderbolts, featuring Thunderbolt Patterson on drums and Ross the Boss from The Dictators on guitar. This album came out in 2006. I never knew this record existed. They cover a couple of Thin Lizzy tunes. They cover a Dictators tune. Let's just start it from, how about Stay With Me? All right. Thank you to everybody who donates to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. As you know, it's a value for value. There's many ways you can give value to the show. You can call in a show review like Joe Pawlak did. You can send me music like Kirk Crawford did. Or you can send me money like these people did. Venmo. My Venmo ID is at Michael-Butler-11. Oh, speaking of that, while I'm thinking about this, I got a phone call coming. I'm not going to answer it. While I'm thinking about this, we need a way to accept credit cards while we're in England. And I know you can't use Venmo. At least that's what I read. You can't use Venmo to collect credit, to accept payments overseas. You can't use Square to accept payment overseas unless you have a European Square card. my thinking is you can accept PayPal. So if you're in a band that tours the, from the United States to Europe or something like that, how do you sell your merch and collect credit cards overseas? Let me know. rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. All right, back to you. So Venmo, Kirk Crawford, $50, and also sent me the Thunderbolts. Tim Schall, $50. Both those guys saved the show this month. Richard Fusey, the sheriff, $21. Moya Watson, $15. Tim Smith, $10, the rock and roll runner. Mike Millard, $5.75. Stephen Cohen, $5. Bruce McMillan, $5. Bruce McMillan, $3. Bruce McMillan, another $3. Stephen Bailey, $2, and then Stephen Bailey, another $2. That's all the Venmo. PayPal donors. Stephen Laperriere, $20. What else we got here? How about Thin Lizzy Hollywood? This is from Renegades, produced by Chris Tangarides. Isn't Hollywood on Renegade? I think so. I could be wrong. It might be. Oh, you know what? It might be on Black Rose. Stephen Laperriere, $20. Blake Johnson, $20. Dave Franco, $20. Richard Strom, $20. James Venners, $10. Jeff and Cheri, Thieleke, $10. Ralph Miller, friend of mine and friend of the show, $10. Todd Cunningham, friend of mine and friend of the show, $10. William Bell, $10. Dave Jackson in the School of Podcasting, $10. Left Lipson, he's no longer working at Lipson. BJ Lisko, $10. Jason Shepard, $10. Peter Spark, $5. John Ofenloch, $5. Keenan O'Meara, $5. Andrew Howe, $5. Benjamin Mueller, $5. Vincent Crimi, $5. Christopher Del Grande, $5. Jace Lesniewski, $5. John Tennis, $5. Rachel Rosenberg, $5. Greg Long, $5. Brett Garsky, $5. Dave Alexander, $2. Adam Croft, $2. Chad Kiffmeyer, $2. Deborah Dreyfus, if that's your real name, hope to see you in England, $2. William Moffat, $2. Lassie Satvithagen, $2. Stephen Mascord, $2. Philip Vermeulen, $2. Brian Gradage, $2. Vincent Crimi, $2. And finally, Kai Matsuda, $2. That's all the PayPal donors. How about Jailbreak? Patreon donors. Joe Pawlak, my bodyguard, $16.66. Dan Ghettowan, $15. Kirk Crawford, another $12.77. Fred and Jenny Bunky, $10. John Scott, writer of the great book Rock, Tom Petty and Me, $8. Michael Street, friend of mine and friend of the show, $7.50. Cole Thornton, $6.24. Dave Slusher, $5.55. Brad Schultz, $5. Brad Schick, $5. Brian Springer, $5. Chiaki Hinahara. Midaki Metal on Instagram. He's got fish. I never knew about his hobby. He breeds these fish called Minakis or Midakis. They're cool looking fish. Had dinner with him not too long. Last time I was in San Francisco. Chiaki Hinahara, $5. Danny Borden, Shitty Dude, $5. I'm going to play Danny Borden's band after this. Eric Klein, $5. Jamie Jefford, $5. James Shapiro, $5. Dustin Lefkowitz, $5. Martin Clawley, $5. Matthew Hunt, $5. Michael Brown, $5. Nadia Itani, $5. Patrick Shanahan, $5. Paul Smith, $5. Robert Harvey, $5. Steve T. Steve Trice, $5. Eric Stowe, $4. Mike Hellier, £4. Dan McBride, $3. Mike Dixon, $3. Chad Burns, $2.50. Paul Rube, $2.25. Adrian Bosch on Bosch Rock on the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook page, which I did not create, but I do prove people. You just got to answer either 2 or 3 questions that the sheriff made up, so that we know you're not trying to extol the virtues of Project 2025 on the Rock and Roll Geek listeners. Amy, hopefully Adrian Boschon will be at one of the England shows. I think he lives in England. Phil Robinson, I think, lives in England too. I hope I see you guys. Let's have a meetup, friends. Amy Bowen, $2. Paul Underwood, $2. Eric, the Rock and Roll Plebe, $1.42. Three Legs, Four Wheels, $1. Arnie Stats, $1. And Peter Wijakowski, $1. Piotr. Thank you to everybody who donates to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. If you get any value out of this show, please contribute what you can, friends. I take a sip of this fine Tecate to you.
Systems fail. Hey, you good-looking female over here. Tonight is gonna be a celebrate somewhere in this town. Tonight is gonna be a celebrate, so don't you be around. Tonight is gonna be trouble. I'm gonna find myself free. Tonight is gonna be trouble.
All right, there you go, Thunderbolts. Thank you, Kirk Crawford, for sending me that. All right, speaking of Danny Borden and donors, here is his band. They're called Killers and Exiles. Let me pull up their EPK here. Let me see here. Okay. Arising from the ashes of Midnight Killers and the Exiles, Killers and Exiles brings hook-laden hard rock and a high-energy live show that will unite fans of classic rock, hard rock, punk rock, even metal. Detroit, birthplace of the Stooges, the MC5, the White Stripes, and so many others, singer and guitarist Daniel Borden grew up in a gritty, take no prisoners scene that would inform his style, sound, and fiery stage presence. I've seen pictures. The guy jumps like a maniac on stage. A belter in the tradition of Morrison, Danzig, and Ian Astbury, Borden's vocals combine strength and control, but his raw, raunchy Gibson and Marshall-driven guitars add the mess to the finesse. I like that. Add the mess to the finesse. And that's Danny Borden. Coming to Austin from Kansas City in 2011, Chris Ward has toured the U.S. and beyond as a drummer, but also as a frontman. Ward's drums and backup vocals add power, dynamics, and musicality of a conductor to Killers and Exiles. South Texas native Jay Villarreal grew up on a steady diet of everything from Rush to Iron Maiden to Guns N' Roses to the Descendants. These diverse musical influences provide perfect inspiration to lay down the foundation for Killers and Exiles sound. Nimble but powerful with a thumping low end you can feel in your guts. Tracks like In the Shadows and Jack of All Trades jump out of your speakers or earbuds with urgency and hard-ass swagger. Where am I here? Okay. But tracks like In the Shadows and Dragonfly display the hooks and songcraft that show this band aren't just ham-fisted bashers. The Killers and Exile sound is a marriage of the energy and excitement of punk with the muscle and precision of metal. The result is a sound that is like your favorite pair of jeans, loose and tight in all the right places. Killers and Exiles brings the energy, excitement, and power that delivers a complete rock and roll experience. KillersandExiles.bandcamp.com. All right, what am I going to play here? Let me get back to my playlist here. I'm going to play Jack of All Trades. Here's so Danny Borden, shitty dude. Here's his band, Killers and Exiles.
Let's go!
There you go. Killers and Exiles. That's fucking great, Danny Borden. Shitty dude. Who knew that there was such talent of Friends of the Rock and Roll Geek Show? I knew. There's lots more. By the way, if you play in a band and you're a friend of the show, send me your music or remind me of your band that you've already sent me your music. I'll play it on the Rock and Roll Geek Show for you as well. Thanks, Danny Borden, for sending me that record. I appreciate it, friend. Really good. All right, so what am I going to... Okay, I got an email from... Before I read the email, I just took up... when I was back in San Francisco by my... Well, what happened here? So I've discovered something called saddle hunting. Hunting season's coming up pretty soon. I'm hopefully going to be... I drew a deer tag for Florida, and I'm hopefully going to be going to my friend Darren, who lives in... Jacksonville or outside of Jacksonville. We go hunting in Jennings Forest. I haven't gone in a couple of years. I think we're going to go this year. So anyways, what popped up on my phone, because I'm on all these hunting mailing lists and stuff, something called saddle hunting, which I had never heard of. But what it is you put on this, I guess it's essentially a saddle. It buckles around your waist and it's got these ropes on it. You just walk around through the woods and it weighs about maybe less than 10 pounds. And you find a tree that you want to climb. And instead of using a tree stand, because I have a ladder stand behind my house up here in the mountain house, this way you're just walking around scouting. And if you find some spot and you think it's a good spot to hunt because you see a game trail or something, you can climb virtually any tree with it. And just anywhere, because you're just carrying this thing on you're wearing this thing like a backpack. And look it up on YouTube, saddle hunting. So what you do is it's got this thing and it's based on arborists, I think, people who cut down trees and stuff. You wrap a thing around the tree and then you put this step on it and then you just climb up. And you just keep shimmying up with this rope around the tree until you're up like 20 feet. And I was watching it and it looked like it was kind of interesting. And I thought I'm going to have to look more into the saddle hunting, because when I go hunting with Darren in Florida, we have these tree climbers and they're super heavy and you got to walk way through the woods and they weigh probably about 30, 40 pounds, maybe even more, maybe 50 pounds. They're really heavy to carry through the woods in the dark. This way you're just walking around. You're just carrying plus you got to carry your bow as well. This way you just carry your bow and you're just wearing this thing around your back. And you can climb the tree. It takes maybe 5 or 10 minutes to climb the tree, depending on how good you are. I must have watched 200 videos on saddle hunting. So I ended up buying all the saddle hunting stuff. So now I've been practicing in my yard here because I want to make sure I don't want to fall from 20 feet. Break my neck. That's not something I want to do when I'm trying to catch or kill a hunt for a deer. So I started practicing and I'm up to about 20 feet now and it feels pretty safe. I'm just basically hanging by a rope and it's kind of like a combination of rock climbing and arborists and tree climbing, I guess. And then you just descend down, you just push this button and you just go slide down like Batman from the tree. Look up the videos on YouTube. They're if you're into hunting, you probably already know about saddle hunting, but I did not. But now I know a lot about saddle hunting because I must have watched 200 videos on this stuff. So now I got the stuff and I've been practicing every day before it gets hot on a tree in my yard, just climbing up, and I'm up to about 20 feet now. And I got you stand on a little platform. So you climb up where you want, then you stand on a little platform and you strap your bow on the tree and your backpack and you just hang out. And I've just been getting up there and hanging out, listening to podcasts or whatever, listening to music and just chilling out in the tree in the morning. And it's peaceful and it's a little bit dangerous at the same time, which I don't want to fall, but I do like a little bit of element of excitement. So there you go. Why am I telling you? I don't know, but I'm telling you. All right, an email from Eric the Rock and Roll Plebe. Hi, Michael. I recently went and saw White Reaper again. It was a good show, though not as good as times I've seen them before. So I don't feel boring you with an official show review, but they did a small tour with a San Francisco band called Spiritual Cramp, who I've never heard of. to promote a new split 7-inch record with them. I bought the record and ripped it to share with you. Side 1 is the White Reaper song. Brand new tune. Features some dual vocals with the Spiritual Cramp dude. Catchy and I dig it. Maybe you will or won't too. The song is called Shimmy. Spiritual Cant were fun live, but I didn't care as much for the recorded music I heard from them later. But here is side 2 of the 7-inch, Spiritual Cramp featuring the vocals from the White Reaper dude. This song is called Whatever You Say, Man. Kind of reminds me of some more modern rock or something. Side 1 is way better in my opinion. P.S. I really enjoyed the Rick Browdy interview. That guy's a trip. Although he said he prefers old R&B and gospel music, he is totally rock and roll and doesn't give a fuck. All right. Here is a brand new White Reaper tune. It is called Shimmy. Let me double click. Here we go. There you go. Brand new White Reaper. I like that. Thank you. Thank you, Eric Rock and Roll Please, for sending me that. All right. I think we're about ready to wrap this thing up. Oh, by the way, August is coming up, and that means it's time for the Dog Days of Podcasting, which means I will be doing a show every day from England. I'll be doing a show every day from the plane or from the plane back. I got an upgrade to England, which I'm really excited about. I got Polaris upgrade. If you have 20,000 United miles and $500, you can bid on an upgrade. And I did, and apparently the flight's not that full, so I'm going to be laying flat back. I'm going to be drinking the entire way there. Don't have an upgrade on the way back, but I'm looking forward to flying business class to Europe. That'll be nice. So I'm going to be doing the Dog Days. That'll start on the 1st, which means when I arrive in England, I'll do a show when I arrive, and maybe I'll do it on the plane as well. And then every day while I'm there and every day when I'm back, when I come back, I think it's going to be hunting season. So I'll be doing maybe some notes from the tree stand. And then when I head to Africa, shows from the what do they call it in the woods in Africa, in the safari? Some safari shows, notes from the safari trail. Never done that before. Maybe I'll get Paul Houston to come on the show. I'll get Mark Bridges to come on for sure when he's driving the Manitoba boys around. Yeah, so Dog Days of Podcasting coming up in August. You get a show a day. So hopefully you like the Dog Days. I'll try to do longer shows as well if I can. Also coming up, I'm going to do another show this Thursday. Richard Fusey, you asked me to do a track by track, or he dared me to do a track by track of the new Black Country Communion album. So I normally do another show on Friday, but I'm going to be driving to Santa Rosa to my brother-in-law's place. So I'll do it on Thursday. The wife's leaving on Thursday, so I'll have the house to myself, just me and the dog. So I'll come down or come up here to the to what do I call this room? I don't know, my little man cave podcasting studio up here in the mountain house. It's a separate building, which I'm starting to cook in it right now because I don't have the air conditioner on. And it's up to, what's the temperature now? It says 92 degrees. So it's not that bad just yet. So if you want to contribute, go to the Rock and Roll Geek Facebook page and look for the Black Country Communion and give your score and we'll compare notes. I don't know if I'm a fan or not because I've never heard the first Black Country Communion. I have nothing against Glenn Hughes. Nothing at all, but except that I don't think he writes that good of tunes, but other, who am I to talk? Joe Bonamassa seems like a good dude. So who else is in that band? Is John Bonham's son in that band? Maybe. So I'll do a track by track of that on Thursday. I'll try to give as honest a review as I can. So put your scores, the Rock and Roll Geek scoring system, on the Facebook page, which I did not create, et cetera, et cetera. Rock and Roll Geek scoring system. If you've never heard the show before, if you listen to the album, each song, if you like the song, give it a +1. If you don't like it, give it a 0. If it's okay, you give it a half. Then you tally them all up, and feel free to put your comments about each tune as well, so I can compare notes on the show. All right, so that's about enough of the housekeeping. Kind of a short show today, but I don't have any other content. I don't want to bore you and just try pulling shit out of my ass. So I think I pulled enough stuff out of my ass on this episode here. I'm burping. It was fine, Tecate. I apologize, friends. Send me some ideas for content, or otherwise I'm not going to have anything to talk about. I want to keep doing a weekly show before August, before we get out of here. We got a couple more weeks. All right. rockandrollgeek.com is where you can find this show. Send me an email, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Find me on the Facebook, R&R Geek. There's a Rock and Roll Geek Facebook group. How many people are on that group now? Let's see here. Rock and Roll Geek Show. 686 members. Still growing. Go there on Facebook. Find me on the Twitter, R&R Greek. Find me on the Twitter, R&R Geek. Find me on the Instagram, Rock and Roll Geek Don't Ask. What am I going to close out with? This was sent to me by Phil Robinson, who I hope I will meet when I'm in England. I think he lives in England. This is a brand new Massive Wagons. This song is called Missing on TV. Thank you for listening, friends. Please keep the donations coming. They're a little bit light again. As the hipsters say, it is what it is. But I appreciate you donating anyway, friends. I'll talk to you soon, Thursday, with a Black Country Communion track by track. Here's Massive Wagons. Stay frosty, friends. And as they say, keep sticking it to the man.
Moonlight to wipe those entitled assets. Change for
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.